Hi everyone! I was asked to make a little video just to show the basics of setting up your skeleton, so I wanted to take this time and just show you to make sure you're all on the same page. Next week will be a little bit more in-depth of a lecture to kind of show the IK setup and what that means and all of that. But I've got my brute mesh here, and so what you need to do is first create a layer. So we can look in your channel box. You can always hit Control A to get from your attribute editor to your channel box. Rotates between the two if you don't see them. And down in your channel box here are your layers. So I can do layer, new layer, and it brings it up right here. V is for visible here, so like for the mesh, I can hide it. T is transparent and referenced. So for this kind of exercise, I like to make my mesh transparent so I don't have to worry about it. And now we're set up to add some joints. I like to use my front view and side view to make sure that I'm actually in the middle. Sometimes, we use our perspective view, but it's not a perfect angle, so you might think that you're getting a joint really nicely in the center, but it might be off. So I would stick with your front and side views. Alrighty, so we go to skeleton. And if you don't see skeleton, we're in the rigging drop down. So over here, rigging, skeleton, and then we've got create joints. Now, think just of joints as your bones, okay? And anywhere your bones can actually bend. So the assignment told you to start at the waist, so I'm going to kind of pick center here and click. Now I've got this circle that represents where the bend is going to be, and then the next time that I click there's going to be kind of a triangle to connect them, and that's what I like to think of kind of as the bone. So I'll go down one leg to the knee and then to the bottom, kind of where the ankle is. Alright, very simple. You don't have to add too many, you want to keep it low joint count. So you can always hit spacebar to toggle between views. I'm going to go to my 4 viewport here and take a look at my side view. Alrighty. So I can see what I've got going on here. I might want to actually move back the ankle. That's going to give my knee that bend that it needs. Might move these back a little bit. Now don't forget the hierarchy here. We started with the waist, so the waist is the parent. So anytime you're going to move anything, it's going to affect the children underneath it. I like to think of it as a parent bringing their kid to the park. If you hold hands, the parent can direct where the child is going to go. The child always follows the parent, but the child can still do whatever it wants. So it can go waving around, spinning around, but it's still going to move forward with the parent. Alrighty. So then, maybe I'd like to do one for the foot. So I can click on that ankle joint and then click on the foot to move that forward. W is the hotkey for move. I just want to get these centered and looking nice. Alright, now currently we have these, they're joint and just number. So you can go into your outliner, and your outliner lists everything that's in your scene. You can see I've got joint 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can always double click there and rename. So this is left hip, so I like to do L hip, and then I'll do L knee, ankle, and L foot. Now these these can get as complicated or as simple as you want. Just make sure you completely understand your organization here, okay? So let's say I've got this, looking in my perspective, I'm going to check my front again. I think I can move that ankle over and move that foot over. There we go. So let's say I've got this leg exactly how I want it. The great thing is we can mirror our actual joints. So I can go to skeleton, mirror joints, and then this little box, those are always your options. And then you need to select what axis it needs to mirror over. So for this one, I believe it's YZ. You can always undo it if you don't like it. But then we've got this awesome already set up for us. It looks like my knee needs to be moved over kind of on both of them a little bit. And then just always go through and make sure, this is now being renamed. We can change it in the settings, but I prefer instead of 1 to be right hip, right knee, etc. All right. So really, you'll just do the same going up. You don't need too many in the spine. I like to put one kind of at the chest to keep it simple, and then up by the neck, go over to the shoulders, and down through the hands for the fingers. And then you'll add some for the head. You can always get detailed if you want to do the mouth, but for this, kind of first assignment, we just want to make sure we get the base skeleton set up and named correctly. And then, making sure that you've got kind of the bend in the knees or the elbows going the correct direction. This will help a lot when you go to actually paint weights and assign mesh to those specific joints. Alrighty, well, I hope this helps, and be on the lookout for the next video by Monday explaining IK, FK, and Module 2. As always, let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend.